I will be. We're having a very good dialogue. I settled 7 wars. The one that I thought would be maybe one of the easiest. You know that feeling? You think one thing is going to be easier, it turns out to be a little bit tougher. But the one that I thought would be an easier one because of my relationship with President Putin and with Ukraine and everything else.
U.S. President Donald Trump says he will soon speak with Russian President Vladimir Putin. The announcement came Thursday, August 4th, during a White House dinner with American tech leaders. Earlier in the day, Trump held separate calls with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and several European leaders. When asked by reporters if a conversation with Putin was planned, Trump confirmed, saying, "I will be, yeah. We're having a very good dialogue." President Donald Trump says he once settled 7 wars during his time in office, but admits the Russia-Ukraine conflict has proven harder to resolve than he expected. Trump told supporters that he believed his close ties with both Vladimir Putin and Ukraine would make negotiations easier. But he described the conflict as turning out a little bit tougher than anticipated.
After your phone call with Ukrainian President Zelensky today, do you plan to speak with Russia's President Putin in the near future?
What?
If you will speak with President Putin in the near future.
I will be, yeah, I will be. We're having a very good dialogue. I settled 7 wars. The one that I thought would be maybe one of the easiest. You know that feeling? You think one thing is going to be easier, it turns out to be a little bit tougher. But the one that I thought would be an easier one because of my relationship with President Putin and with Ukraine and everything else, I thought it would be the Russia-Ukraine disaster, where this week 7,014 people were killed. Soldiers, in most cases soldiers, a few from Kiev, relatively few, but mostly soldiers, and they're being killed at levels that we haven't seen since World War II. And they're not American, they're not from any of the countries that some of you are from, but they're people, they're souls, and we'll get it done. But that's turned out to be the most difficult of the group. You know, I settled 3 wars. One was 31 years going. A lot of people killed, 10 million people. Another was 34, and another was 37 years it was going on. And people said, you can't settle them, and I settled them. This one turned out to be more difficult, but we'll get it. We're going to get it settled.
The remark comes as Russia continues its military campaign in Ukraine with no ceasefire deal in place. President Putin has shown no signs of backing down, instead strengthening ties with China and India. The 3 leaders appeared together this week at the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit in Beijing. Trump and Putin last met on August 15th in Anchorage, Alaska. Those talks centered on the war in Ukraine, but ended without a ceasefire agreement.
I want to note straight away that the visit was timely and extremely useful. We discussed practically all areas of our cooperation. But first and foremost, of course, we talked about the possible resolution of the Ukrainian crisis on a just basis. And naturally, we had the opportunity which we took to discuss the genesis and causes of this crisis. And it is precisely the elimination of these root causes that should form the basis of any settlement. It has been a long time since we have held direct talks of this kind at such a level. I repeat once again, we had the opportunity to calmly and thoroughly set out our position once more. We, of course, respect the position of the American administration, which sees the need for a swift end to hostilities. Well, we would also like that, and we would like to move on to resolving all issues by peaceful means. And the conversation was very frank and substantive, and in my view, this brings us closer to the necessary decisions.